You know when your mom and dad argues and when you were a kid, you just didn't know whose side to take. Granted, I always usually when I was small and I was more feminine, I always took the side of my mother, and then later on I started taking more side of my dad. But then I realized both were wrong because I just picked the side that I was more feminine, so I agree with a more feminine opinion. I was more masculine, so I agreed with a little bit of a more masculine. But I started realizing that sometimes even my mom was right. And it's just like something to think about that even a woman can be smarter than a man in some situations, which before, if there's any liberals watching this, but statistically, men have higher IQs than women and are smarter than women. That's why I'm saying that this is like strange, right? These types of situations, bro, don't pick the side of who you like more. You know, like picking your mom or your dad just because you like one of them more. I don't know, like they're your parents, it kind of makes sense. But in life in general, you can't just pick the sides of those who you like more. Because growing up with a fucked up parent, or like being on the side of one parent that is the wrong parent, which is usually the woman. Like if a man grows up with just a dad, he's probably gonna be fine, unless that dad is abusive and stuff like that. But if he grows up just with his mom, he's fucked up. Okay. These are the pedophiles. These are the criminals. They just don't grow up like a man should. Now I'm getting to the topic of today's video, which is when your mentors disagree, bro. Doesn't matter if it's some YouTuber that you watch or if it's someone that you paid for coaching or whatever. If they disagree, just look at it completely independent of who do you usually agree with. Even if you agree with a person 90% of the time, they might just be right this time. So look at both of those opinions. Imagine flipping them, right? Imagine flipping the two people. Imagine that Andrew Tate says, I think that it's okay for a man to have 10 women. And then Hamza saying, I think that you should only have one. And nowadays he doesn't say that, but he said that a couple of years back. Imagine if Andrew Tate said, I think a man should only have one woman. And Hamza saying, I think you should have 10. Or I like having 10 or whatever. Who do you actually agree with? Flip the two people, etc. So this doesn't come just to your mentors, but even with people that you know, and it doesn't really matter who. So yeah, with this in mind, may God bless you, and I'll catch you on the next one.